This episode is powered by Quirks, the podcast network that saw my torch get snuffed and said, nope, not today. They're the reason that we're still in the game, telling stories about other survivors that surprise a little harder than a blindside. So if you like your podcast spicy, unpredictable, and just a little bit messy, well, thank Quirks. They gave us the flint and we set the jungle on fire. Hello, Survivor fans. Welcome back to Beyond the Torch. We are very super duper, and you hear this every time, excited. But this time, this is cool because Jill Behm is here. She's from Survivor 21 Nicaragua. And the reason I'm so excited is because Jill is my bestie. I love her. She's one of my Survivor bestie friends. And so I'm really excited. And I know this is a big deal for you, Jill. Jill's kind of an introvert. So for her to be here, I know you are just being a really good friend. And I just got to introduce one of my favorite Survivor players to one of my other ones, Todd. So
yes.
Welcome to Beyond the Torch.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course. We're excited. You have such an interesting and unique story. I love your story about how you got on the show. And
okay. And I don't know it, so I'm excited to learn it.
It's really interesting. And not only that, but we do have a fun little segment that we do at the beginning of every single episode, Jill. And it's called The Fans Have Spoken, because here at Beyond the Torch, we're not just about highlighting survivors who've been on the show, but also what the fans have sort of taken away from it. Because, the show, I'm sure we're going to get into this, changes everybody at some level, or at least teaches you something about yourself, or shows you something that you hadn't noticed before.
Okay.
And today we're going to hear from Tony. So let's get going.
Hey, my name's Tony. I got into Survivor when I was a kid, but I will admit, growing up, I decided that playing video games and playing baseball was a little bit more important, so I kind of didn't watch Survivor for years. But then COVID came, and I got into it like crazy. Binged watched it from season 1 to season 40 because I'm a psycho person, apparently. But after that, I found out that there's these things called orgs, online reality games, and I got into them, decided to play one. It's like the real thing without being on the island and starving, and you vote people out, build alliances, play challenges, stuff like that. And I had a great time, met some really great friends, decided to even host my own game, and through that, my best friend hosted with me, and I was gay. I am gay, but I was in the closet, and seeing him interact with a community that is very LGBT friendly, opened up my mind to be able to talk to him about it and tell him and come out, which allowed me to come out to my family and other friends. And it's just crazy that Survivor led to that in my life. So I'm really grateful for Survivor, and I don't know. It's a great show, and I hope it never ends.
Yeah, we do too.
That is so awesome, Tony. Okay. First, I have to ask the two of you, do you know what an org is? Have you heard of them or played in them at all?
I haven't played. Well, I'm sure Jill has.
Jill, you've played in orgs?
Oh, yeah.
What orgs have you played in?
So this is, it's funny because when I started, S21 was sort of like middle school, old school, middle school, new school. And so now it's at 50, we're super old school. But back in the day, and you guys probably don't remember this, but there was no Instagram and there was nothing. There's no way to get information. So you had these message boards that were powered by various engines.
Survivor Selfs.
Yes. Yes. I was on Survivor.
Pygmy Island. Anybody?
Pygmy Island. So before that, and so that's how I used to find out information because they were so psychotically closed about information. So you'd go on there and you get the calls have started, so you'd your friend for 2 weeks and the calls have stopped and then people are in LA. And so that's how you would get your information. So I started posting on there and I got an absolute wealth of information off of Pygmy Island, just about as far as what to expect, the casting process. And, and it's so funny because for what, they said, and you go in and take the psychological testing and they're like, you can't beat this, So I got in with Dr. Eliza and she's like, well, I can see from your answers that you're just very warm and very outgoing. And I'm like, oh, that's me, you can totally beat the test. Yeah, so Survivor sucks. Like that was it, man. Like and then they took it down. And so after I was on, I went on and I had this great thread because after a while they kind of like knew who I was. And after the show, you're allowed to, say stuff. So I basically interacted with people and had a Q&A, and I let them ask me questions that I was able to answer. And this was like way before, this is before anything, And then I actually did a contest where I had like, a bunch of Survivor swag, and the people that were, I don't know, they just did kind of these crazy things. I'm like, just come up with something unique. And then we awarded prizes. And some guy did like, remember the fanfics? And I don't know if they still do those. Oh, yeah. Some guy posted like a video montage, that's how you made it in Survivor. If you get the like video montage, if you use set to music and stuff. And so, so shout out to all my sucks people. Although I didn't go on certain ones because they were just absolutely vicious.
Horrible.
Like, Twitter looked like benign, like they were just, so there was a couple of threads in there that you could get into that were less so. And the people I think appreciated like who I was and what I was doing. So my thread wasn't too bad, but I don't know if you guys read stuff on there, but it was savage.
I was a suckster. I loved Survivor Sucks. My handle was Super Survivor Kid. I was more of a lurker. Like I would read all the information. So like I got all my information about finals and the calls. So all you saying all of that is amazing. Cause I remember reading a thread about the white vans at CBS. Oh, yeah. And so this is really like a flashback.
I didn't like Survivor Sucks very much because it was so mean. And, that was back in my like sister Christian, like high empathy, like days. And I was a big time member of Pygmy Island though. I was 4 kids later. If you were on Pygmy Island, that was me. And every time I wouldn't get picked, I would like write a poem about it or do something to just kind of like, have some fun or whatever. And then when I disappeared, I like went back and read everything and they're like, oh my gosh, where's 4 kids later? We haven't heard from her in a while. What's she doing? And then, they finally realized it was me and it was so fun. It's like a little community.
Has anybody prior to me talked about that? Because that was like a huge deal because up until I would say maybe my season-ish, because they were just getting Facebook and just getting those things. So before that, I mean, I think everybody from 20 back, that was our resource. And I think we're all there, looking at it.
We had MySpace, but that doesn't even count.
MySpace. And I think honestly, not Instagram, Facebook had just started, but it was just for college kids.
For college kids, yeah. So if you didn't have a college email address, you couldn't even sign up.
You couldn't even do it. Yeah. And I just remember MySpace because when I came back, I made my song because, you could have a song. It was Sister Christian.
Amazing.
And I was like, I'm gonna wear it like a badge of honor.
Good time, right?
I know. Wow, so much fun. Well, and
so you're a total super fan then, right?
So yeah. I mean, I'm hesitant to say that because my gameplay was so bad that it's like now the super fans are like psychotic and can memorize like every who did blah, 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 blah. I was more like a student of the game in such as you could be, because you guys know, having been on the show, that I thought it was just like outdoorsy, hunt, kill, eat, make fire, that kind of thing. And then you get out there and it's not like that.
It's a social experiment.
Yeah, and all the behind the scenes stuff and the manipulation, which I believe has only gotten much, much worse even since our, seasons. So like that stuff is, so I'm not sure I'd call me a super fan so much as a student of the game.
I like that distinction. That's kind of cool.
I think I was a student of the game as well. Like I love to study it, but I didn't go and post everywhere. I wasn't like running things, but I knew all of the stuff, like the information.
I just didn't want to get like far in the process at some point and then them say, wait, she's all over the internet. We can't have her on there. So I was more of a lurker, except in Pygmy Island, because it was more of a private little,
I wasn't a member of Pygmy Island. So I never even heard of it.
It was probably older people. Todd, you were a child. And I was
Which is probably why I was in Sucks. Like, right. Survivor Suckster.
They were all like 15.
Yes.
Here's something for you, Todd. So this is a picture. There's all these little is memes before there were memes, right? And this is a picture of Silas. I don't know what's going on here, but it was basically this thread called Silas Screws, and they would put something. Well,
not like that.
Oh, okay.
This is not pornography. This is him from the show. He's doing something.
Like, Jill, what are you watching?
Dude, there's all these oh gosh, yeah. So I don't know. I thought you would appreciate it.
I remember that thread, Silas, and it was what, like, just completely.
It was just
nothing
random
super
stuff.
random.
Yeah, they would put like, the Dolphins are stinking it up night ground football. So they'd put Silas and then they'd put like a Dolphins logo underneath them and just stuff like that. Does Sucks even exist? Can you even access that stuff anymore?
I don't know. That's
We'll
interesting. We should check that out for sure. Or maybe even start like a Reddit called Survivor Sucks. And is there one?
It probably is one. I mean, there's a Reddit everything. So I don't know. That's for you, Todd, because I thought you would.
I love it.
Past, right?
I love that so much. This Survivor Sucks is where I found out that we were going to be going to China. And I don't know how it got out on Survivor Sucks, but when we were in casting and Mark Burnett came in, I think you were there, Leslie.
I was.
He asked everybody, does anybody know where we're going? And I was like, China. And he was like, I went, how do you know that?
No, where's my palm trees? I want to be at a beach. I was so sad. It was a cool experience. Don't get me wrong. But like, I think when you've been wanting to be on the show for so long and you finally get on and it looks nothing like what you had imagined for, 6 years.
I was ecstatic.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was. Oh yeah, because you can't swim. Forgot about that. Well, Jill, how did you get into Survivor? Let's talk about your journey. What made you decide to do this and how many times did you audition?
Oh, okay. So this is a good time. So this is for people that are still applying, although Lynn is no longer in casting, which is a travesty of biblical proportions, but
great.
As of May. My sister-in-law called me. She's like, you have got to watch this show. This was like right after Mike Scoopin fell in the fire. This was I wasn't really OG at that point. And so we started watching it and she's like, you just gonna love this because it's, at the time it was very like, if you talk to the people from S1, it was very just like, they didn't even know what it was going to be. There was like a documentary and the cool thing about this, I'm kind of like, I have ADD, but we're just going to segue around a lot if that's okay. And just
we're following you, girl, because we do have ADD and this makes sense to me. So
I'm on the same page. Yeah.
You know how you get to be like super good friends with people, not especially on your season, because because when people like cast or they come to you for casting advice, which happens all the time, right? And you're like, and the best advice I give to people is be yourself, only more so. And the thing about the survivors is like, I'm like, if you go to a party and then you leave the party and you're like, tell me which one of those people at the party was on Survivor, you would just say it. You would there's something about people who have been on Survivor. They're the most beautiful person in the room. They're the biggest a-hole in the room. They are, there's just something.
Effervescence. I call it effervescence. And I saw it this week at the event I went to. Yeah.
Yeah. Just everybody's got something. And it's all the same thing because some people are like incredibly nice. Some people are incredibly beautiful. Some people are incredibly jerky. Some people are just incredibly bossy, whatever it is. But they're just so much extra, I guess is the term now that phrase. So what were we talking about?
I asked you how you got on the show.
Your journey to casting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the show is really interesting. So I was like, this is great. I'm all about it. So I applied, and at the time they were very into labels like rocket scientist, doctor, lawyer, whatever. And so I was a doctor, and I think that is maybe what they're mostly interested. So at that time, remember, I don't know if they did it with you guys, but SHAG, Survivor Entertainment Group, would go to different cities and get an affiliate to film you. So you would actually, and you'd send in a VHS tape. So it was really back, right? And so I got the call. I went to Chicago and I was like, I'm going to go in. And I had a guy named Tab Frank, who I think he was like a one-shot deal on SAG. This is back when, this is before my time. I don't even know when in the process it would be fairly early, like 5, 6, 7, 8. And so I went to Chicago and they come rolling in and they just reeked of like booze and alcohol. This is a bunch of 20-year-old, like, business, right? And so I had this pretty good interview, and afterwards he's like, I'm just still, I'm just like, I'm a DO, I'm going to crack your back. And so he's like, oh yeah, would you so like crack his back? He's like, I feel marvelous. They know you. And this. So I was like, I'm so getting on the show, and so naturally you get the call. you were great. We loved you, but just not really what we want this season. And you're just kind of like, what the heck? Yeah, I thought you loved me, And,
they always love you guys. They always
love you.
Again.
And I applied, and so they called me back again. And this one was in Pittsburgh, and this is super ironic. And tell me if I'm wrong, but so you get the call, you go down there, and I go into the room, and there's this lady sitting in there, and she's got like a blouse on and this ascot, kind of like short curly hair, and she just looks marmish, like a school marm, older than me, even at the time. And so I was like, why is this lady here? Like, what is the point of this? Like, she's not getting on the show. Pretty sure it was Wanda. Isn't she
Wanda for Blau?
Oh, bless her heart, and she didn't ever make it. Oh, that's
the
worst nightmare.
I know, right? Yeah, she ends up getting on. You could tell, and she was kind of like, you could tell she was just like ready to bust and wanted to say something, and I was just like, dude, don't even talk to me. I don't even want to do anything with my chances. And so you go in there, and they're just like, oh, we love you so much, blah, blah, blah. And then they call you, and they're like, yeah, you were, keep applying, and you're just like, whatever. So I applied the year before mine. It probably would have been
Samoa.
Yeah, Samoa. And at that time, Survivor women were not, they were more, all right, I was gonna say, they were like eye candy women. Like, they were terrible at challenges. And I just had enough of it. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is embarrassing. And so I had just won a cycling title, and you got a very distinctive jersey. It's like all the flag jersey, and it's kind of like a green jacket or Masters. Like, if he showed up at a cycling event wearing this, people would be like, "Ooh," So I put it on, and I had hair about like mine, and I was like, "Listen," I was like, "I'm a doctor, blah blah blah." I'm like, at the end of it, I was kind of like, even if you don't cast me, for God's sakes, please put on a woman who doesn't suck. Like, could just do that for women, okay? Didn't hear it, not a peep, not a callback, not a nothing. And I'm like, I am done with the show. Because it's very frustrating if you're an overachiever, because if you can't, it's not like medical school or something you can just work really hard and get in or do or work hard enough. It's up to somebody else. So there's only so much you can do, right? So so I'm just, I'm like, that's it. I'm moving on. Found another project, another hill to climb. And about 6-8 months later, I get an anonymous call on my phone, let it go to voicemail, and they're just like, "Oh, this is Survivor. If you're still interested, and you're just like,
"What? Am I interested? I'm already packed. I'm on my way."
Yeah. So they call me, and they're like, "Yeah, we're looking at casting the show, and we're looking at old applications. We're super interested in yours, and so can you send us updated pictures?" And so I did. And at the time, I cut all my hair off and dyed it platinum blonde, because I do that from time to time. So I send it in, and she calls me right away. And I think it was, oh, shoot. You guys would know who it is. Noelle Kane.
Yes.
Okay. So she calls me right away. She's like, we just can't. And she's like stuttering. She was so upset. She's like, what'd you do to your hair? And I was like, we cut it all off. And she's like, all right. And I think basically what happened was, she's like, you look too like somebody that we're casting. I'm pretty sure it was Holly Hoffman who was on my season, because she gets short, kind of blonde hair.
Yeah.
So I was like, so there's your opportunity, just like, gone, So I was like, well, I said, what if I had red hair? And they're like, well, we can't make you dye your hair, but if you wanted to, and then resubmit an application. So I literally, and I was sick at the time, so I took my feverish butt into CVS, got the worst case of like box red hair dye you could get, dyed my hair red, reshot an application on my mountain bike, and I sent it in, and they freaking loved it. They just, I honestly think the red hair is what got me on the show. This just was so distinctive,
Yeah, it's a look.
And so, yeah, that's the story of how I got cast on Survivor.
So how many times did you end up auditioning then? Quite a few times.
Well, I'm pretty sure I got called like every time I send something in. I would just do it intermittently from year to year, and then I would be like, except for the year that I got on. Oh, and then, here's a little tidbit. And this is helpful for the people who are trying to get on, although I don't know what their casting is like now. But people think, and I tell people, because they come to you for casting advice, right? Like, what do you say? And so people think that they cast, that they're just looking through these tapes and they see some like Rupert and they're like, oh, he's pretty cool, let's put him on. And I'm like, they don't do that. They actually set a cast like you cast a movie. Like, we want a NFL wife who's going to melt down and, when she gets into a hardship because she's super spoiled. And we want like a Black firefighter, and we want, like a super effeminate gay guy, or we want. Go ahead.
You know what's funny about this is, who was it? I think it was Lynn Spillman that she said that they called it the menu, and they outlined very specifically. So yeah, keep going, because I'm loving that you're saying this.
Yeah. So they cast, or at least she did, they cast very much like that. And so I found out from Noelle, or actually it wasn't Noelle, it was Lisa Tricheria, that I was on a reel. So they grabbed a reel of athletic females over 40, and they just like grouped you like that. And so this is our athletic females to pull from. And they had like 20 of us. And she said Taj George was on mine, and one or two other people were actually on the show. So I was on that reel. And so come to find out, they were building my show, right? Old versus young. And Jimmy Johnson, they were building a cast of athletic people around Jimmy Johnson. And so they went looking for like, hey, where's those athletic 40-year-olds? And so that's basically how I got on.
Wow.
That's crazy.
You don't ever think about that.
So, because think about it, when you went to finals, right, in LA? So do you remember seeing like 4 or 5 other people who fit your very specific stereotype?
Yeah, for sure.
I remember
you look and you're like, there's me.
Yeah, like that's my competition right there.
Okay, so that never occurred to me. I was absolutely not even. I think I was just in the mindset, this is my time. This is my time. I'm doing this. I didn't even notice. The only other people I noticed were like you, Todd, and Denise was there, and Chicken was like these really unique personalities are who I know. I didn't notice anybody who looked like. That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Wow. It is funny because I can remember distinctly getting on an elevator with some 20-year-old, I call them booby girls, like 20-year-old booby girls. Right? But, you are who you are. And they would be all like attitudinal with me. I'm like, bro, we are not competing for the same spot. You can smile. Like
different spots. Promise.
Promise. Unspoiling to me because once you understand that. But it's funny that you mentioned that, because like in my Doubletree, is that where we were? What's the name?
Yes. Doubletree.
Yeah. So we were cast with Redemption Island. So I remember just looking around and like, I could kick all their asses. And then Grant Matos was we were allowed the weight room, and I don't know if you remember much about him. I remember him because he was a beast. Like, he had played professional football, and he was just in the weight room doing these things that I was like,
guy.
Oh gosh. Yeah. And Kelly Shin was there, and she was absolutely beautiful. And it was funny because anyways, my casting director, she told me stories and it was really cool because when you go out there, I was on East Coast time. So I would get up I get up at 5 a.m. anyways, which is like 2 or 3 a.m. California time. So I would walk around the hotel and do my laundry and just kind of bop around because nobody was up, And so I would get to see things, and nobody was up, but it was just a kind of a cool experience. And I was on one of the end corner things. And Lisa said that Tyson, when he was on, would sit by the window in a pair of boxer shorts and put his legs up and spread them out and just stare out the window the entire time. Oh my gosh. Thought that was kind of fun. And the only reason I know that is because Tyson, I don't know if you know this, but Tyson, well, obviously, I don't think everyone appreciates what a good athlete he is, because he raced in Europe cycling. And I actually asked her a question. I said, hey, should I wear that jersey that I won on the beach? Because no one will really know what it means. It's kind of and so she's like, well, let me call Tyson, And so he was as smart, as snarkily unhelpful as you can imagine. But he actually did say, he's like, oh my gosh, he's like, that'll get trashed. Don't wear that. And it's just kind of stuff you don't know, for being out there. So, so I've always been a fan of his because I always felt like he gave me some good advice. And
I love Tyson. Tyson was one of my closest friends when he lived out in Utah. He lived 15 minutes away from me, which is crazy.
Wow. Is he in person he's on the show? Because sometimes I feel like he's so over the top, and that's sort of the camera.
It's the exact same. Yeah. He's just like that everywhere you go.
How does Rachel put up with that?
She's pretty crazy too, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess.
she's super dry, and that's my favorite part about Rachel is she's so dry, and that most people don't understand that she's being sarcastic unless you get her humor. And so, yeah, I love the two of them. I think they're phenomenal.
I've always wanted to meet him just to tell him thank you. So someday, maybe.
Aw. Well, maybe he'll watch this, and maybe he'll hear that.
We'll have to talk to Tyson and be like,
yeah, we'll definitely be having him on at some point because, I mean,
Oh yeah, how could you not?
I mean, come on.
I
Well,
love
so
this.
let's talk a little bit about your experience on the show. So when you got there and you know, before you can actually talk to anybody, were you like making eyes with anyone, or did you feel a connection with anyone just based on body language yet?
Not really. I wasn't. Well, oh, so here's a cute little story. We're doing little vignettes, right?
Oh yeah, this is great. I love it.
So obviously, Jimmy Johnson was on my season, right?
And did you know who he was when you saw him?
So this is my vignette. Her husband's outside with a bow and arrows, still distracting. So I walk in, and so we arrived. So not everyone arrives at the same time, right? There's groups of people on planes. So I'm just sitting in a room doing what? I don't know. They hold you there. And so he walks, they walk like 3 or 4 people that were on a particular flight. And I see him and I'm like, oh my Lord. I'm like, I know this guy. Like, they're not going to let me on the show. And we know each other. And so I like went through all my teachers because, you know, he's a little older. He has the white hair. But out of context, I was like, how do you not recognize him? But out of context, people are very difficult to recognize sometimes, other than that you know them. So I'm going through like all my teachers, like, no. And I went through all my college teachers, no. And then I went through my med school teachers, all my doctors, friends. So then I started to go through all my coaches because I was on the track team in college. And as soon as I got to, and we used to lift with football players. So as soon as I got to the football coaches, I was like, boop, it clicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Jimmy Johnson. And so, you know, when you're in 10th Village. Yeah. So Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy T, and I would get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and we would just come outside of our tent and stand there and just stare around. So the 3 of us, I thought, would get on well. But I didn't really. Some people were like super unfriendly, like not like they weren't playing the game. They were just sort of like completely standoff. We had a weird season. I can't explain.
Well, can I just say though, Jill, you know, we just interviewed Jillian, and it was interesting because on that show, she talked about how she was so afraid to break a rule that she stopped being friendly. Like she didn't look at people, she looked down, she was just very standoffish, which is the complete opposite of who she is. But they had like scared her so much that they were going to pull her out and put her alternate in, that she was just trying to be such a rule follower. So I do think sometimes before the game, if you're too good at following rules, they can come off as standoffish. I mean,
that's definitely what happened with my whole season, is that because they were so young, and the adults were older, that they missed that rebellious 30-year-olds that are sort of like, I think you guys are better at skating that in between, you know. But no, I didn't really, although from what Jeff told me, everyone liked me because I was like a mom. I had a Lance Armstrong, remember the Livestrong bracelets? And I had, do you remember, Leslie, when the kids used to have those gum rubber, they were shapes of like animals and houses that people they wore on their wrists? Yeah, okay. I had a bunch of those. And so Jimmy T even said, it's like, she's got kids because she's wearing those, she's got this, she's got that. And so everyone was okay with me. I'm just super standoffish. So I knew that Kelly B, I'm just that way anyway. It's a terrible show for me, but Kelly B had an artificial leg, and I thought that was going to be kind of interesting. I didn't know how like that would stand out, and yeah, I didn't really have any great pre-show
reactions or anything.
So, like, what was your thoughts when you found out you were going to be playing in Nicaragua? Like, was that exciting or weird, or did you research it?
I didn't think much of it, not until coming back. I tell people, they're always like, where's your season? You know how you meet people, where's your season? And I'm like, Nicaragua. And then I followed up with, which is Spanish for hellhole, you know, because it was truly like, I see like, you know, where are they now? Fiji permanently. And you guys are in like these beautiful, like, not you guys, I don't know what, I can't remember what's your water. Did you guys have any water?
We did. It was a lake with like a crap ton of nasty parasites. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. And yeah,
Phenomenal.
so you see people and they're floating in the lagoon and they're sitting and they're, doing sand bathing.
And you can see through the water.
Yeah, you can see through the water. And it's very subtle and you wouldn't know it unless you were one of the people in Nicaragua. But our beach was a surf beach. And if you know anything, so it'd be like being in LA. And so they are very long and they're very rough as far as the waves. So there's no fish are hanging out there. Or if you have a pole, you have to do like this where you're casting way out beyond the surf. And after, what it's like after back in the day when it was so much harder, like 30, 39 days, right? And after about 4 or 5, 6 days of no food, like I'm a super strong swimmer and I wasn't going in that water because it was like, I don't feel really strong. Like so it's kind of subtle, but if you watch my season, we're never in the water, like ever. There's just so much. I just thought it was kind of interesting, but no, it was
super interesting.
Yeah,
because what I'm the current, like you were like it could pull you out, right? Is that what you're saying, basically?
Yeah. There was rip tides and the waves are because you're on like a surf beach, so you don't go like swim. And then it's very rough, so the sand, the water's all turned up. So even when you it's annoying in Survivors, those little things, right? Like people are like, what did you miss out there? And so if someone were to ask you like, what did you guys miss? Like you can have one thing from home, what did you miss out there other than family? What would it be?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, coffee, 100%. Are you kidding? There's this, I don't know why, like I thought about coffee all the time. Todd and I had 1,000 discussions about coffee.
I couldn't stop thinking about coffee.
I know, it was insane.
So Todd, what's your
coffee? I would say honestly, coffee and chocolate. Like I wanted chocolate, but then like, okay, a pillow.
I could definitely see. For me, well, yeah, but I mean, okay, so there's obvious things like that, but for me, like the niceties, it was a napkin. Because of why? Because you never, like, all you had was your clothes, and once you like ate, what did you had your buff, but you're not going to wipe your, like, what do you wipe your hands on? What do you get that fish off with? Like you had nothing. There was no cloth, there was no nothing, so you were just disgusting after a while. And so our beach was all churned up, and so if you go to like wash the pan, you could never get the sand out because it was all, there was never any water to rinse out, and so you would eat your rice and you would have to like gum it because we would be crunching down on the sand. It was just so gross. And there was no, like, we had a couple coconuts that like washed in every time there would be a big storm, but there was like no natural food. And I think so many people on my season quit that the next season, Redemption Island, like I remember the very first show, they had like all this lumber for building stuff and all this food set out. And my phone starts ringing and Marty's like, are you seeing this? You see all the food they have? But I was like, yeah, well.
What funny, okay, I guess like kind of cool story that relates our seasons is I had talked to one of the producers and asked like what some of the hardest locations were. They said Guatemala, China, and Nicaragua. So there we go. We did it.
Yeah, we did. Look at us.
She just dabbed.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3, dab.
It was hard. I asked all my people because I really like how much weight you lose. I think I lost 19 pounds. No, 20 pounds in 19 days. Chase lost like 38 pounds. I don't know. We definitely lost a lot of weight on our season.
How much did you lose, Leslie?
I lost 17 pounds in 9 days.
Oh my gosh.
But you also know, like, I was
a ton of weight.
I know, I was so sick. It was disgusting. Like, and I remember, okay, this is so funny. And I still think about this sometimes. I remember my bra like got big on me. It's the first place that sadly that women lose their weight. And I remember John Robert going, what happened to your boobs, Leslie? I was like, what are you doing looking at my boobs? He's like, well, they're gone. What happened? I'm like, I'm losing weight. I'm sorry. I'm dying. So I don't want to hear
gone to the end. How much weight did you lose?
28 pounds.
Okay.
And you didn't have much to lose, buddy.
Right. Yeah.
No, I was tiny. I was able to fit into 16 boys' shorts when I got home. Like, I was tiny. I think I was like 112 pounds or something when I was done. Just gross.
Oh.
But we were joking around out there, and I was like, yeah, it's heroin chic.
Yeah. We did look.
I was like, I can't wait to get skinny jeans because this was that era.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skinniest of skinny jeans. Oh my gosh.
What was fine? 11?
15.
15.
15. Okay.
Mhm.
What year was that for you? 2007, 8?
2007. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so it was a while ago. A little bit ago. What, 19 years almost?
Yeah.
A while.
Which is
Yeah,
absolutely
15. No, I'm 15, 2010, 2025, 15 years.
Yeah, it's such an incredible experience. But let's talk a little bit about, you had such a special relationship with somebody out there who I know to this day you guys are still like buddies. And
Which
that is
makes me
Mr.
so
Marty
happy.
Blumbo, who I adore. Let's talk about that. Why did you connect so much with Marty, and how is that relationship now?
So yeah, Marty and I connected pretty, I don't know, you guys know it's like a gut visceral thing. Like there's some relationships that are just instantaneous and some that just sort of evolve over time, and you don't have that luxury in Survivor of evolving over time because everything's so compressed. And so he just, he was a dad. I didn't feel connection. JJ was kind of just, Jimmy Johnson was just kind of out on his own. Jimmy T was, the very first time we got on the beach, like Jimmy T comes running up to me. He's like, I'm in an alliance with the girls. Are you in and out with us? In or out? Right now. Tell me. Swear on your kid's life. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, how do you think about that? I'm like, get away from this guy. And I didn't actually get on all that well with women. So
Which is hilarious to me.
Well,
I love you.
I just
Sorry.
have more in common with guys. Like all my hobbies are like male type thing. Like when I was cycling, it'd be like, a handful of girls and like 40, 50 guys in the pack, or hunting that I do. It's just my habits are just masculine. And so I understand the alpha male. I get along well with the alpha male. And so Marty was the only one out there that was decently athletic. He was a wrestler in college and he wasn't insane. And so it seemed like a good fit.
All you got to be is not insane, and then we'll connect. Great.
Bar's so low.
But like literally such a cute relationship. You guys are so sweet. Every time I talk about you online, he always chimes in. I love her. It's so cute. So
very close. And my youngest son went to college in outside in Stockton University of the Pacific, which is outside of San Francisco. So we went out there quite a bit to watch him play water polo. And so Marty and I would always get together. And
is that where he lives then?
Yeah, he's right smack in the middle of San Francisco.
That's so fun.
And it's just funny. Before the show kicked off, we talked about how you end up being kind of close with people, not even like from your season. And so I met Brooke Struck at one of those like it's not an org, but they have those backyard pickup games, Survivor games. And so Bob Crowley had one as a fundraiser at his house. And so that season was, this is really funny. That season they took, they would just do it for fans. And then like Sandra's done it. And I know Kobe Archer has been up there. And so they would just kind of do it. So as sort of like leading the tribes or whatever. And so one year they're like, let's just cast a tribe of survivors. Like, can you imagine?
Like a whole group of us?
There was, so it was Troy Zan, Brooke Struck, me, Nina Porsche, Joel Klug, and Jamie Newton.
What a fun tribe.
Oh my gosh. And they put us on a tribe.
Did you dominate?
Won everything there was to win. Like,
I'm sure you did. I am sure you did.
I mean, like Joel is an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Jamie wrestled in college. I mean, Troy is very athletic. And we just like won, and we had puzzles and to the point where like Bob does it in the surrounding areas, people would come and sort of like sit. He has sort of like an amphitheater. His property is really cool. If you've never been there, you can go there and visit. Like he's got main forest yurts. I'd highly recommend anyone on the East Coast to go spend time in his yurts. Super fun. And he's got a great family that all lives up there. Mm-hmm. The audience was booing us. I remember walking off and like, Joel, they're booing us because we won so much.
You were so dominant.
Oh yeah.
They should have done a tribe swap or something.
There was, but what they did was they I don't know, Joel did something. He's like, hey, if you I was with Joel the next alliance. So I guess I like alpha males. And so
I love Joel though. He's such a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's hilarious. He's and he's just a beast. It's like one of those like super strong guys. Every tribe has one of those. A guy like James or a guy like who's the swimmer?
Ozzy?
No.
Eric?
No,
I don't know.
You swim for
everybody but Todd and James?
Swimmer. No. Who's one of the most dominant males in recent years in challenges? I can't think of his first name. Is
Jonathan.
Yes.
Jonathan. Oh yeah.
I think he's ran for University of Alabama. I think I read that somewhere. Maybe I'm totally making it up. I don't know. But but so you get to be like super friendly with these people from other tribes that you meet or other Survivor seasons. So you're actually like closer with them. And so Brooke is from Sacramento, so I've seen her quite a bit. And you, Leslie, I'm friends with you for
a while.
Completely random.
It's really weird in the Survivor world how like you do meet at these different events and whatnot and become really close friends with people from different seasons. Like, you know, I feel like I played the game of Survivor with Sandra, but I never did. But I know her so well that it's like,
I know
we've never played before. It's bizarre. Or like, you know, half of the cast of Micronesia, I absolutely adore. I mean, Jason Siska and me, we sailed all through the Virgin Islands down to Venezuela together. Like,
oh, how fun. No, I love that. But here's the thing about it. And this is what I love about my Survivor family is, I mean, everybody in it, we've all had background checks. we've all been vetted. And so we're all very similar and we have similar interests. And I think that's why I don't even remember what year it was, Jill, that I first did the mom squad thing. Do you remember what year that was? I was living in South Carolina and I every time a mom was on Survivor, you know, the mom cast, you know, the one, there's always one at least. On my tribe, for some reason, there was two, me and Denise, but you know,
Denise didn't count as the mom.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I decided to throw something out. We have like this private page where survivors go to kind of congregate and, you know, people who've been on the show, not fans, just people who've been on the show so that like when people are coming after them, they can come and we can be like, it's okay. They're going to back off it. Then it's 15 minutes. I promise next season, you're going to be totally fine. And so we have this little, you know, place where we hang out. And so I threw out there, I'm like, listen, if there's any moms like this, the stereotype, you know, Survivor mom who was on a season and you want to get together, I would love to have a bunch of moms at my house and let's just go like, I think, you know, we went, you know, I don't know, on some different adventures while we were there. We did what was it? You love those rooms, those,
escape rooms.
Yes. Escape room. And we did the thing. I don't know why I can't ever think of what this is called. Zip lining. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm forgetting words. And so we did all these fun things and like just kind of hung out and got to know each other. And so, you know, a few people said, yeah, I want to come. And so like Missy Payne came, Dr. Jill came. We had Sunday Burquest and was it Carolyn? Was she there for that one?
She didn't come for the first one. The first one was just the four of us, I think.
Yeah, I think it was. And we had the best time. And the coolest thing is Jill came and I could immediately tell that she had my husband's personality and not mine. And I thought, I am going to love her. Like, this is great. I love somebody who is not like me, but like we're similar. It's weird. It's so fun to have so much in common with somebody and yet be so incredibly different. And I just remember you, Jill, sitting at my kitchen table, like on your computer with your little glasses, looking all like doctory, you know, she worked while she was there, but then she would like, you know, put everything away and she would engage in conversation. But I could tell like it was a lot, you know, it was a lot for her because we're very outgoing. Like get a group of moms together who've all been on Survivor, who are all competitive, who are all chit chatty, type A. It is like we compete to be the one to talk. It's hilarious. Like we are loud.
Word in edgewise, to be sure.
You really can't. And Jill just sat there. It was almost like she was in shock, but she had so much fun. And when she was done, she was like, you know what? I'm really glad I did this. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I was so proud of you. And we had the best
you guys need a Bravo show. The moms.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of Real Housewives, it's just like
there's drama, but it's not like we're not mean to each other. No. It's drama in that like we talk about our fun experiences together and we do fun things and I realized very quickly, as competitive as I wish I was, I'm probably more not, because when we went to a one of those escape rooms, I literally sat there in shock. Like these women.
Who took over? Like who was
Jill. And Carolyn is really good at it. I mean, like they're like, you over there. Like my daughter ripped her pants while we were there. And she was like, Mom, your friends are intense. I'm like, aren't they great? Like amazing. So we started doing these fun little events every now and then. And you know, just a few of us just got together. It wasn't like we were leaving people out, but nobody seemed if you were interested, it costs money to get together. So if you're interested in investing in friendships, that's what we did. And we haven't really done a whole lot since Sunday passed away. I think that was just a kind of a blow for all of us. And she was sort of like, she and I were the ones that started it. We were the ones that were like, let's do it.
Well, I think you need to reboot it because I think survivor moms matter. And survivor moms need to get together.
I love all of them. And even just meeting Debbie here on this podcast and having her, like Jill is spearheading, trying to get something going. We'll see what happens, but
I think you should make it happen.
Yeah, but Debbie's now in, so.
Just so everybody knows, like, Todd, have you ever taken the Myers-Briggs personality?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I would guarantee you he's what I am.
Okay. What are you?
Guarantee it. ENFJ, right?
Oh, yeah, duh.
No, you're not. You and I are complete opposite. So I'm TJ, which means you ENFP.
Oh, yes, that's it. I'm the P. Yeah, we're the absolute complete opposite.
I took mine in rehab, but it was like when I first got there. So like I don't remember much.
And sometimes you change. So sometimes like you can sort of mature or get a little closer to midline. So it's super healthy to be close to the midline. Mm-hmm. Like be close to you. Like so if you're an introvert, extrovert, it's like I can go to a party, but I don't have to like have a panic attack and be like, I know you, like I get one.
Yeah.
It's like, gotta go.
We should do it. Let's do it, Todd. We got to do it and see. Because I guarantee, I wonder if I'm still the same Jill, because I've changed a lot over the last few years. And I mean, I'm a little more outspoken. I'm a little more, I care like not at all what people think of me. Whereas before, I think my entire identity was, if you don't love me, you're not going to love Jesus. So I need to be loved by everybody. And I really took that on. That was my own fault. Like, I just really, really did. So I don't know. That's interesting though. But yeah, when we found out we were opposites.
But it's cool though, because we still got along very well. But we know that if Leslie and I come together on a project, we've covered every single possible base. Because I'm the one who'd be like,
he's analytical.
The best way to be, because you don't want to be the same person. It's like that's just like battling for this. No, so the opposites that get along, it just makes sense.
It's beautiful.
And she's going to soften me because I'd be like, why would we do this? This is stupid. And she'd be like,
here's the human interest side.
This is maybe what we could consider instead,
And they love that. Oh my God.
Would you guys like to tour my survivor room?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the survivor room.
First, tell us about it, because I don't even know what we're about to experience here.
Okay. All right. So it's merely just a guest house in my house. I have a house that I decorated in survivor motif. I was able to, it started because my mother's husband got me what do they call them? With these big things you stick on the wall. It's not a standee. It's like a
flag.
No, they're the big giant stickers. There's
like a giant sticker that sticks to the wall.
Oh my God.
There's a name for that thing.
No, we are not finding words today, guys. Just FYI. There's not something going on in the stars.
Anyways, you'll recognize it when you see this. But I got one of those, and then I would encourage people. So I'm going to put this up just because you do have, you have players, but you also have fans, and a lot of the fans are like super into like the merch and stuff like that. So this is kind of like my thing that I did, and it's kind of this with stories, and didn't we all just rip off tree mail and stuff from the show, and that, and then they have some on auction, which now they give the patients I'm sorry, we're going to work.
She's a doctor guy.
We are patients.
Don't they give the contestants their torches? Isn't that?
Yes, and that is not cool because I had to buy mine.
Yeah, no, it is cool. We had to buy ours. Yeah.
John lets me spend time with my torch sometimes, and it makes me cry. I'm like,
and then I also,
John, what's his last? He owns my torch, and he'll bring it to events when he knows I'm going to be there, so I can speed date.
I bet he'd sell that to you.
He probably would. I would love to.
I think he's looking to divest his collection. Oh, actually, I just bought our voting room because because he's divesting. He's downsized his house and he's selling a lot of his stuff.
I'm gonna check some right now.
If he has some of your stuff, And Jeff, after I don't know what season it was, but is no longer, they don't sell the voting urns. They sell the stands and things like that on eBay for the auction. So he has collected all the voting urns. So you can't even get them. So I bought mine for a ridiculous amount of money. And wow. So yeah.
That is
well, let's
so
see the room.
cool.
I'm so excited. I got to sleep in it once.
So if anyone ever comes to my house, this is where you'll stay. So this is the survivor room.
Yay.
Okay.
You'll have to let me know what you can see. So, okay. So here is the,
Yes.
So
the
that's
sticker.
Sticker on the wall. And
That is
got
cool.
it for, my seat, which is super cool because you really remember you look at that and you're like, that's mine. Like I can pick Nicaragua off of, so there's Nicaragua. This is, this is my decorating taste. So I basically took buffs and made them into.
That's awesome.
Oh, cute. A little curtain.
And then this is something interesting. So I don't know why I had this idea, but I took about 50 shirts that I probably illegally had printed up with the Survivor logo on them to and nobody watches this, right? To our finale, and I just texted on my cash. And I was like, hey, if everybody comes up and signs this, then I'll give you all one at the end. And so everyone from my season came and signed church. And although this is, obviously the king jewel here, JJ only signed a couple of them. And I put two of them up for auction because I was raising money for a homeless shelter in our town, and they sold for like 500 a piece, which shocked me.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I sold I sold one. I was going to keep one, and somebody offered like, hey, I'll give you $500 for the other one because I said I'm keeping one and selling one. So I was like, oh, that's a lot of money for the homeless shelter. So then I just got a hold of JJ. I'm like, can you sign another one for me, please? I hated to do it, but
no.
So this is okay. So this is the bathroom. Not very exciting, but my mother-in-law embroidered me.
Those are really good.
I know they came out nice. Cool. And then just you've got your little pictures of your cast.
Amazing.
Right. And then and this
is a survivor room. Why is my office not like this?
This is
I don't know why.
This is
I have a survivor hall.
And this is where my Fortnite magic happens. So if anybody watching plays Fortnite, I've been playing for like 6 years. I'm not sweaty, but I'm okay. So hit me up. Say some torch. This is my okay. And so if you're gonna do a survivor room, so you can get like the sticker and stuff, but they actually have some cool stuff online that you can buy just if you watch from year to year. These are some wooden they're not puzzles, wooden boards
or whatever.
They were on the website. And so I just somebody sent me one as a present. I think they sent me this bottom one because that was my tribe, and then I just bought that. But they made great decorations.
That looks really good.
When I came, Jill actually got the Survivor China flag and left it on my bag for me, or my bed for me. So when I walked in, it was all of that cool stuff, but then there was like this Survivor China flag on my bed. And she let me keep it, and I have it right here.
This is my pride and joy. This is
community. Because there's a picture of her with Jeff, if you're listening.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And
you're good.
That is something that neither me and Leslie know is winning immunity.
Actually, I saw a list somewhere of like people who have won individually, and it was like tallying everyone's immunity, and there's like the people who have won one, and my name was on there. It's like, I won individually. I kind of forgot that.
That's a huge deal.
Well, actually, I won it before the merge, so it was a big deal. That's
a huge deal.
Merge. And so I was so ticked that I never really got to compete for a lot of individual immunity. Because if there's one thing I was good at in my show, is figuring out like advantages in it. So remember in Survivor Australia, when they they were jumping and they had to swim, jumping off a cliff and had to swim.
Oh gosh,
and so the one tribe figured out how to push their to the end of the anchor, push their floaty closest to the person would have to swim the least. That's the kind of stuff I'm super good at, like figuring out if there's a loophole or how to like work an advantage. This is a picture of us at the Fox NFL studios with like Jimmy Johnson and all the
fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
So fun.
So remember how we talked about Remember how we talked about being friends with, I talked about the pickup survivor game. I don't know if you can see this, but you'll certainly recognize this.
Oh yeah, that's Eric.
Oh, Eric Reichenbach.
Yeah. So I commissioned Eric to do a art for me afterwards. And so this is Jamie Newton from that backyard survivor game that we did up in Maine. And so this is Troy Robinson without his t-shirt because he always would go around shirtless. Yeah. Nina Porsche, Joel.
He did this podcast shirtless.
Did he?
He did.
It's so funny. So that was very valuable to me.
That's
and then
so
you can buy
fun.
things. I'm sorry if this isn't coming out great, but you have like a voting urn pen.
Oh, I love that. You can get those on CBS.com.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah, that's where I got mine. Yeah. And then this is can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that like a tree mail thing?
That's the one that I won. And then these are the little rings that we threw in our little thing. And then this is my torch. And I'm not sure.
Such a great collection, Jill.
Thank you.
Your torch is awesome.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's so detailed. I love it.
People just pick them up. They're like, "Oh my gosh, these are heavy." I'm like, and you remember when they handed it to him? Because in the top, this is like just metal, guys. And so in the I have something stuffed in there, but they would literally just pour kerosene, and we'd be whipping around, and then fire. They're like, "Quit moving your torch!" And they would always scream at us all the time about everything. They're like, "You guys, you're gonna get yourselves on fire. You guys suck." Yeah, you suck. You smell.
They put like little canisters in ours.
Oh,
yeah.
And then lit it and then took it out. I wonder if the shape or something was different. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's
ours was just like a hollow thing, and I think they just poured kerosene in it, but maybe not.
That's thing.
It's just like, what? I mean,
kerosene. And so those are close to the original and the infamous,
I bet they smell good.
I finally broke down and washed them because I kind of just liked the smell. Like it just took me back. Most things smelled like smoke,
Yeah.
And then, of course, every tribe has their water bottle.
Oh, yeah. Guess what, though? We didn't get ours because ours were all moldy by the time our finale aired.
It's because we put limes in it.
But I would have cleaned it. Like, I wanted to keep my water bottle. They threw them all away. I was like, come on already. Yeah. But I think that's really cool. Like, our torches were really awesome, but then Denise ran around and cut off all of the little trinkets that were hanging from it. Do you remember that, Leslie?
No.
Yeah, she cut off all of the cool, like, dangly things. So I have my torch as well.
Oh, to make an idol or something?
No, because she wanted to take them home and give them away to her kids. So I had like cool, like little, Chinese things that were hanging from it. And so I caught her doing it and I yelled at her and I was like, I want my torch. Like, that's going to be the one thing that I want after the season is over. So I did get my torch. Of course, all the things are cut off because, she took them. But I did like some deep research and I found identical replicas of what was hanging and I restored my torch.
Yeah, there you go. Jill, thank you for that tour. That was super fun. I love that.
That was awesome.
Like nausea inducing, but yeah. So any survivor, normal people that want to spend the night here, by all means, come on over. We
normal people only, no crazy people. And I want to get back to what Tony said in his call at the beginning, because he said, I think I'm a psychopath because I watched him, so much. I'm like, no, you're not a psychopath.
We're all the crazy ones.
Yeah.
Not the normal ones.
Yeah, normal people suck. Like, I think, Tony, I say watch one right after the other. It is so much fun, especially COVID. That was such a depressing time. And Survivor was such a great escape for so many people, during that season.
I think COVID Survivor fans are some of the best Survivor fans because they binged 40 seasons in a matter of months. 40 seasons. And it's not just like random one or two. There are some really diehard COVID Survivor fans who literally binged all 40 seasons within a few months, and they could tell you every detail of every season. And I think that's incredible.
Amazing.
Like, that is a hard thing to do.
So Jill before Survivor and Jill after Survivor, how did it change you? Or did you learn anything about yourself or other people or?
It wasn't a big epiphany. I don't think it changed very much I mean, I was who I was. I didn't have to do anything so when I went out there, obviously I'm a Christian, and I was very cognizant of not doing anything or saying anything that would reflect poorly on myself, my family, my church, whatever.
Right. Your faith. Yeah.
So I was super, super boring at it. So I didn't realize that like all the stuff you do out there, I'm not sure I would have changed it. I mean, there's stuff like, you're lying about it. It's like, well, if I would have done this, if I would have done that, the what if, other games that everybody but the winner plays. But no, I think I stayed pretty true to myself. And I don't think that Survivor changed me, other than maybe it broadened my horizons and it helped me just talk to other people about like, people are like, well, why did you do that? Or how did you do it? I'm like, I applied. Like you 100% of the chances you don't, or 100% of the swings you don't, 100% of the strikes you don't swing it. I don't know.
There's a saying about this.
Sports metaphor.
We're not thinking of words today though.
But I know we're all like pissed. The chances you don't take. So I'm like, what, just do it. You just might waste some time. So I just and then just the rewards have been huge because the stuff, the stuff we've been able to do, like cycling, I've been able to cycle with some of my Tour de France idols on these various like trips.
Really?
Oh yeah. You get various things. And then when we're in Florida, I'll get together. Not that we're like super tight, but JJ will go have dinner at his restaurant, with the family, all of us, and go to his show. Well, he's off his show now, but for a lot of times that was a big deal. And I think it just showed my kids and sometimes people would even say to them, like, you realize what your mom did, don't you? And I think it showed them to sort of just, live life, just go for it. So I don't think it changed much. Maybe it should have. Maybe it'd be better if I did. I don't know.
No. Do you still watch?
Sure.
I do not.
Oh, since when? When did you stop?
I think I stopped when about 3 or 4 years ago. Well, when they started throwing around idols like they were beach glass.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
that's so fair.
But so you said you don't think it made you change a lot, but it doesn't have to make you change a lot. I feel like it just like you said, broadened your horizons a little.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot. That's a big change for a lot of people. Just opened your eyes to a different thing and showing your kids that you can do things that most people say you can't. Like that's
relationships. I mean, literally, I wouldn't have met you if it weren't for you doing it. And I just think about all the deep conversations and the fun times that we've had. And it's like, you know what? I'm thankful for this little show. I think being an introvert, I would love to know the psychology of why they picked somebody who is more introverted to be on such a type A show. You know what I mean?
No, I
faked it.
Oh, you faked it. That's true. That's true.
Remember, you can't beat this. We are blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yes, you can, so.
Watch me.
I think that's amazing, though. I thought you were very interesting out there. You were somebody who I felt was very solid and very strategic. And you held everything very close.
Strategically faked her test.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Sproul didn't get it to me. Yeah. I do feel like I was somewhat of a victim of the tribe swap. I think if the tribe swap hadn't gone the way it had, or, but Survivor is a game of ifs. I mean, I'm sure, Todd, you were people really underestimate, although Sandra said the other day, we were on that call and she's like, so there's a lot of luck involved. And I was saying, and it's not mine, but I use it a lot to say you make your own luck, so you put yourself in those positions to, what's the other famous quote? Chance favors the prepared mind. So I'm a big believer in making your own luck. So, the people who won twice deserve to win twice. The people who won deserve to win, no matter what, if they, were on Redemption Island and came back at the last minute or, whatever. I firmly believe that the people who won deserve to win for 100%.
I say that too. Like, it's impossible to say that someone doesn't deserve to win because of this or that. And it's like, no. But they did. They did something right out there that made everybody who they were playing with give them the win.
Vote for them. Yeah.
And even if it was done by one vote or all the votes, they deserve that win. You just don't like them as the winner. And that's fine.
Right.
I've done that, right? Because I know I've heard various things about, Russell and Natalie. And apparently at tribal council, because they had their editing reasons for what they did, but apparently Natalie hit it out of the park on council, at tribal council, because she was able to tell them, like, somebody asked, I think, Russell, like, who are my kids or what are my kids' names? And she knew like all their kids' names, everything about them. So they didn't show any of that, because they just wanted because that was more of a story. But she put in the work of the relationships to win. So she's absolutely a deserving winner.
Yeah. Absolutely. I thought, okay, and this is my opinion on that season 2, is I have met both Natalie and Russell, and just by spending time with them, I would have voted for Natalie too. Simple as that.
I mean, let's just all talk about how great it felt when he lost. Like,
I mean, he went back the next season and lost again.
Yeah.
That should say enough right there.
You're a woman. Yeah, again.
But to give credit where he's due, he revolutionized the game. I mean,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The idols
changed it forever, and he might not have a win, but he's famous. Survivor.
Oh yeah, he's famous for a reason.
Russell Hantz changed the way that hidden immunity idols work, period. We used to wait for clues, we used to wait to earn those clues to go look for it. He's the first one who was like, I know they're here, I'm just gonna go find it. And that changed the game, first of all, because now they don't even get clues, they just go. So
wow. Well, I'm thankful for you, Jill. Thankful for your friendship. Thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing your perspective and all the fun little things that you shared. We appreciate
Jill,
it.
you're awesome. This was a lot of fun.
I told you.
Well, thanks for having me. It wasn't half as bad as I was dreading. So
you had a good time, and it.
No, I did have a good time. That's what surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so boring. My show sucked. Everyone hated my season. Like, what do we talk about?
I like your season.
I really do too. You had some memorable people. I mean,
I know.
You really did.
Oh yeah. Jeff Probst and Dalton Ross are frequently quoted about how much they love my season, like all the time.
Yeah, I think it's a great season. And so anybody who wants to trash it, I'm like, have you rewatched it? Like, maybe go try it again, because I think you might be surprised,
Yeah, for sure.
And I suppose we had our moments, but we also had a disproportionate amount of quitters. And, for what is, I think they're all good, like, even though I haven't been watching lately, and that's, somewhat of that is a product of it's changed, but it's also a product of, I switched jobs and I went from working part-time to full-time, and I just don't have the time, but it's still a great love of my life. I'm very, very glad to have done it. And thank Jeff and Mark Burnett and Lynn for giving me that chance, and just for getting these relationships, and just what it spawned has been, you can't do, it's just a gift, you guys. It's such a gift.
Right.
I will say this, if you go back and you decide you want to watch any of the new era, watch 47. It's probably my favorite.
I've heard that.
It's in my top 5 favorites of all time.
So, Jill, just to give you an idea of the people who are on the show this season, there's a girl on there who actually I'm really growing to like. But she talked about how she collects blackheads and keeps them in a jar. Yes, Sage. She collects blackhead. And I thought to myself, what on God's green earth is happening? And now I'm loving the way she's playing. Like, it's been fun.
She's one of the best players of New Era. She's hilarious. She is so dry and sarcastic and says it with a straight face, and you're just like, what are you talking about? But she's great.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Maybe I'll resurrect it and I'll start from 47 on. And I mean, I
skip 48.
I have to, because eventually you're gonna stumble across these people and be like, oh, sorry.
Oh my gosh, that was me this week. I went to an event with Rob Has a Podcast, and I was having conversations with people. I had a conversation with this one kid. I won't tell you what his name is. And I'm talking to him, and he's so sweet. And I'm thinking, oh, what a nice Survivor fan. And then he goes, yeah, when I was on Survivor, I learned blah, blah, blah. And I went, I need to go back and watch all these scenes. I have no idea who I was talking to. And apparently he's a really big deal. No, I do, but I'm not going to say his name because I don't want him to know it was him. And then I'll feel
okay. Tell me after.
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But anyway, I had no idea. And apparently he was very well loved. I do encourage you to watch 47 and maybe not 48. I don't know, Todd.
47, 46, 45, 49.
Yes. There you go. It'll restore your faith.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. I will see you very soon, and we'll talk soon because I know we're going to do another Zoom soon.
Bye, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Love
Have a
you.
great day. See you.
Thanks.
Bye. Well, what did you think?
I thought she was freaking awesome. Like
She was great.
she was great. She like I hear her humor. I hear her. I would say she's dry as well,
Yes.
and I
Oh, yeah.
love it. And that is like one of my favorite type of humors because
That's
it's
my
just
husband.
so I love it. It
Yeah.
makes me smile. She
Yeah.
was great. Yeah. So
Well, it's funny when we first started, before we push record, she was like, I don't know, man. I don't think I have anything to talk about. You know, and I was like, Jill, are you joking?
and
Like,
that
we
she,
talk for hours when we get together. I'm like, you're just talking to me. It's no big deal.
she was being way too hard on herself because look, it's been an hour and 11 minutes.
I know.
And she talked for most of it.
I love little Miss Jill, little Dr. Jill.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that you guys had fun listening to me and Todd talk to Jill and her experiences and how the psychology, I guess, can be manipulated. Who knew? I mean, I guess it makes sense because I've always wondered, how did she get on this show? Because really, really introverted.
Listen, I know a contestant, and I will not say his name, but he took the psych test like 7 times before he passed. So like,
wow,
it happens. It happens. Just saying.
So funny. Plus, she's a doctor, so she knows. She's like, oh, this question means this, so I need to answer it this way.
Yeah, she's not stupid. She can figure that out.
That's what they're looking for. I mean, she's been around, I think, and it is true, just being around survivors this past week and feeling that energy. That it's just it's so
I don't
big.
even know what, yeah. It's like it comes
it's
out and and I don't even know the word. What is it? And like it surrounds the room and it feels, you're drawn to.
Very much, very big personalities, they draw you in, they make eye contact, they're loud and fun and have stories and want to know about your life. It was just really kind of cool to see. So just a reminder, and I get to see it again next month when I go to
TV.
Yeah, I'm going to be going to Over the Edge. I'm raising money. Listen, if anybody wants to give, I don't know why I'm having the hardest time this year. It's the Wildland Firefighters. I'm raising money for them. If you want to support it, you can find me on the Over the Edge Celebrity Weekend page. And I'm just trying to get some money to support these guys and women and men who are risking their lives every day just to kind of keep us safe and to keep our communities from burning to the ground. Pretty tough. And right now they're not even getting paychecks, which really sucks. So the grassroots Wildland Firefighters they're very helpful in times like this to help support them and get them what they need until the government, gets off their ass. So
please get out. Please let them.
Somebody.
I'm supposed to fly out of the freaking country in 2 weeks and I'm scared to death.
Oh no.
I don't want to get stranded in Ecuador. Like, come on.
Yeah, that would be tough. Well, I tell you what, maybe by the time this show airs, all of this will be a dream and it'll be over.
So. I hope so.
We're gonna hold that. Anyway, hey guys, thank you for hanging out with us today on Beyond the Torch, and don't forget, we want to hear from you. The fans have spoken. We need your voice if we're gonna have a segment like that. So leave us a voicemail,
please.
and be patient because we're gonna play as many as we can, as often as we can, but we only do one show a week. So yeah, and so like if you have a question for me and Todd, if you have a suggestion for the show, whatever, like, leave us a voicemail. Let's put you on the show and let's talk about it. I think it'd be fun. So
I love that.
Thank you. Or send us an email, beyondthetorch@gmail.com. So thanks for listening, and we will see you next time right here on Beyond the Torch.
Bye, guys.